Alright, so the used car bubble has finally popped, and if you're in the market to buy a car, then please wait because there's been some massive new developments. Now, it's no secret that Americans hate the car shopping experience so much that it's become a statistical joke. Like, for example, 1 in 5 Americans would rather give up getting frisky once a month than go to a car dealership. And that is bold of them to assume. No, but check out these other statistics about what people would rather give up than go to a dealership. People would rather clean their houses, they'd rather stand in line at the DMV, they'd rather do their taxes, they prefer to get a root canal, and on this goes. So online companies were created to solve these problems in the automotive world, and one of those companies is a company you might have heard of before called Carvana. Carvana promised to give you the car without the car salesman, and during the pandemic, when everyone was forced to stay inside, their stock price exploded to over $360 per share. Carvana became the 3rd fastest company to get inside of the S&P 500 index. Going digital was the new way to sell cars to consumers, and as their business grew, they had to buy more cars at overinflated prices to fill their inventory. And thanks to the chip and inventory shortage is why 82 out of 100 cars were sold over MSRP value this year in 2022. Except the buyers were not only retail consumers, it was also institutions, wholesalers, and car companies like Carvana. And now the bubble has finally popped because on Wednesday this week, Carvana's stock lost 43% of its value in a single day. To give you a perspective on just how bad that number is, remember the stock market is supposed to return anywhere from 8 to 10% per year. So Carvana just lost 5 to 6 years worth of growth in a single day over concerns that the company could be going bankrupt. The stock went from a peak of over $360 all the way down to $3.80. That represents a value loss of 99%, which means if you had put in $1,000 into Carvana stock at the beginning of this year, today you'd have still more than what I've left in crypto. No, you'd have $10 out of your initial $1,000 investment. And the reason that Carvana specifically is so important to this story is because they're sort of considered to be the Goldman Sachs of the automotive world. Better yet, they're considered to be the Amazon of the car world. They are massive. And if they declare bankruptcy, they will be the first domino in a long list of dominoes that will force the greedy car dealers to finally lower their prices and stop charging customers over MSRP. And better yet, it will finally break the illusion that cars are still some hot commodity. And this, of course, is massive news for the entire used car industry because that means we are finally gonna get some sweet car deals next year. So buckle up, I'm gonna explain exactly what is going on with Carvana, why this is happening, and how this will have a huge effect on used car prices. It's gonna be good, so let's get into it. Hi, my name is Andrei Jikh. Hope you're doing well, come for the finance, and stay for the Carvana na. That's a Pokemon, and if a Pokemon could buy cars, it would have probably done a better job than Carvana, which relied on the same strategy to buy their cars that Zillow used to buy their homes. Algorithms. Now, algorithms are notoriously ineffective and they overpay. Like for example, in 2014, someone bought a brand new Honda Fit for $20,800. But fast forward 8 years later to December of this year, and Carvana offered to buy that same 8-year-old Honda Fit for $20,905, sight unseen. They offered to pay more for that car than what it was worth brand new all the way back in 2014. And that's almost as bad as the joke about being the fastest mathematician in the world. It's like, what's 1 million multiplied by 10 million? 300? That's not even close, but it was fast. Now, believe it or not, that's not even scratching the surface of everything that's going on with Carvana because this story goes so much deeper. So first I have to say that if you're in the market to buy a car and you're considering Carvana, then please be careful because there have now been multiple reports of Carvana selling damaged cars and cars that have no title.
He paid in full for this Subaru 11 months ago, but he still doesn't own it because Carvana has never given him the title.
And this is a problem because if you don't have your title, you can be pulled over, you can be fined, and you can even be arrested once the temporary tags expire. Now, there's no excuse for why Carvana should be doing this, but the reason they're able to get away with it is because of something called Form 5830, which gives them 30 days to give you your title. But under their own company policy, if they don't give you your title within that 30-day period, 100% of the sales price has to be refunded. There are now hundreds of reports of consumers waiting for their title for months and some that have waited for over half a year. And in the meantime, they've been pulled over, they've been fined, and they've had to deal with massive headaches from the DMV. But arguably the scariest thing that can happen to you is if you're sold a stolen car. And that's exactly what happened to a man in Colorado who found out that his car that he bought from Carvana, which passed their 150-point inspection, whatever that means, was actually a rental car from Hertz, and that 7 months before he purchased it, it was reported stolen.
He found out Carvana not only sold him a stolen car,
No, this thing's a death trap.
the car had prior damage he says happened before Carvana sold it.
Now, if you look at the BBB, the Better Business Bureau, you'll find thousands and thousands of customer complaints, and as a result, Carvana's had to deal with multiple fines, they've had several license suspensions across multiple states, and they have several class action lawsuits against them. So if you're someone who's thinking about buying a car from Carvana, then please be careful, because if they do go bankrupt and disappear, you might never see your title. This goes without saying, but it's inexcusable what they're doing, and if their reputational damage is not enough to make Carvana go out of business, then here's some more bad news. Despite literally the biggest car boom that the world has never seen before the pandemic, Carvana has never actually been able to turn a profit, which is kind of crazy if you think about it, because back in March of 2020, we got the CARES Act, which flooded the economy with $2.2 trillion. By April of 2020, used car sales fell 46%. Everyone thought that used car dealerships and of course the rental car companies would eventually declare bankruptcy by summer of that year. But fast forward to the end of 2020, and suppliers started to inform people that there was a huge chip shortage, which was right around the time of the second stimulus for $900 billion. Now, if you fast forward to January 2021, that's when automakers stopped producing as many cars. By March of 2021, though, we got the American Rescue Plan, which injected another $1.9 trillion into the economy. And by April 2021, sales exceeded the supply. And that's exactly when used car prices started to explode. But that is also exactly when companies like Carvana had to buy more cars so they could sell more. And that crazy condition was the only time that Carvana was able to turn a profitable quarter. That's exactly when the Fed and Papa Powell were literally printing free money. But outside of those crazy conditions, if they're not able to turn a profit, then chances are they're never going to be able to figure it out, especially not this year when the Fed has started to raise interest rates to fight inflation. But as interest rates go up, consumers don't want to buy cars because that makes their loans that much more expensive. And you can see this on Manheim's Used Vehicle Value Index, which shows there's a decline, especially because cars are still technically overpriced thanks to the greedy dealers not wanting to lower their prices. And that's partially because they can't lower their prices, because they also bought their cars back when they were worth more than what they're worth today. So we have this situation where dealers have a lot of inventory, but they're seeing a lot less demand. But guess what? They still have to pay money just to keep their cars on their lots. And if they can't, they have to borrow more at higher interest rates, which is sort of a catch-22. Carvana, for example, right now is paying 10.25% interest on $3.2 billion worth of debt. That translates to $28 million a month or $335 million a year that they're just bleeding out in interest payments only. So if they can't raise money soon, they're estimated to run out before the end of 2023. So far, the writing's already on the wall, and they've laid off roughly 20% of their staff this year, and 10 of Carvana's biggest lenders, including 2 of their biggest ones, Apollo and PIMCO, which hold roughly $4 billion worth of debt, have agreed to a 3-month cooperation deal. Now, if you're confused about what that means their biggest lenders have sort of come together and said to each other, hey, in case if anything goes wrong, let's not fight with each other over who gets what in case they need to restructure. And we know what restructure means. In today's market, it means Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The point is, Carvana's running out of money, and the rest of their business strategy relies on losing even more money just to gain market share, which is obviously a strategy that is not working, and now we're seeing the collapse of the first big domino in real time. But that's actually a good thing for the consumer, and here's exactly why. If Carvana goes out of business or it continues to be squeezed, then they'll be forced to sell off more of their cars. Now, the bad news is people like you and I, the retail consumer, won't be able to bid on those cars, unless of course you have a wholesale or dealer license. So it's going to be other companies and other wholesale buyers buying those cars. But if Carvana actually fails, then there'll be a huge drop in consumer confidence, and the illusion that dealerships have built up that used cars still have pent-up demand will eventually break. Now, just how many cars does Carvana have is the real question. In Q3 of this year, they reported $2.58 billion worth of cars. That is a lot, especially when you consider the fact that last month, Manheim reported that price changes across the board were down 14.2%. Now, just for context, the normal rate of car depreciation is about 2% per month in a healthy market. we just lost 14.2% in 1 month, which, comparing that to the 2.58 billion number, means they lost $336 million worth of inventory value in a single month. That's not even mentioning the fact that car sales have substantially slowed down. So if anything was to happen to Carvana, then consumer confidence again would drop, and wholesalers would take that into consideration, and they would bid less for their cars. And they're gonna do that because consumers are buying less cars. And that's of course not even the scariest part. The scariest part is anyone who bought their car from Carvana relatively recently, because they may or may never get to see the title to their car. And that would plummet consumer confidence even more, which would be made even worse once Carvana's lenders get a hold of their inventory, because those companies are not dealerships. They have zero incentive to wait and to slowly trickle those cars onto the market. They would want to sell and dump everything on the market ASAP to get their money out fast. And that would again have a huge impact on car values, because inventory would skyrocket and car values would drop. The point is, things could get ugly really fast, so please be careful, and if you're in the market to buy a used car, maybe wait a little, because you might get a much better deal really soon. I want to give a huge shout out to Lucky Lopez for helping me out with this video. Go check out his channel, and as always, smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to see you back here on Monday, Friday, sometimes a Wednesday. Love you, see you soon, bye bye.